So it's time to take a look at the Nitto Ridge Grapplers that are fitted to the vehicle. Been running the Nitto Ridge Grapplers for about 40,000 kilometers. Here's what the fronts are looking like after that many kilometers. Now, I haven't done any rotations on these tires. As most of you would know, I'm running the -12s up the front and then -59s on the rear. So the only way really for me to get a rotation is to actually take rubber off rims. So I do, every time I get a service, well, every second service, because I get a service every 5,000. So every second service, I get Toyota just to rotate left and right, just to get them spinning the other way. I don't know if that's good or bad, that's just what I do, so they're not in the one place for the life of the tire. Try and get as even tread wear as possible. Now, because I don't rotate front to back or anything, the rears wear out a hell of a lot quicker than the fronts. So the fronts aren't too bad after 40,000 K, no rotation. If we take a look at this spare right here, this is one of the tires that came off the back. So she's pretty buggered. Now, the two rears, I was trying to get as much life out of them as I could. I really let them go too far. Rightio, so we've got the plug kit out. I just noticed this was a bit doughy. It's been a bit doughy all morning. There's a big split in it. So I reamed it out a little bit with this. Seems like the split's not all the way through, like I can feel the cords. But I think there was a little bit of a hole there. I got one plug in, we'll see how it goes. But these tires are proper tired. 45,000 Ks, not rotated one time. That's what the rears are looking like for the most part. Pretty worn down the guts. The fronts are probably still sitting at half. So yeah, I mean, they've done well. It's probably, I'm not really surprised. They're obviously very tired, these rear tires. But anyway, hopefully the plug holds. See how we go for now. Well, this tire's had enough. So I ended up putting a mob more plugs in, but there's a hole in it somewhere else. It's completely given up. So it's the first time this spare's been off the back here. I don't think it's anything against these tires. I mean, they're shagged out, they're buggered. I let them go too long. I was just trying to get the most out of them that I could. And new tires are right around the corner. If I had done this a week ago, I'd be right. But anyway, you get that. Rightio, so I've got that tire off, and yeah, I mean, it's not happy. There's me plugs from today, obviously, but I mean, look at the state of it. I let it go way too long. Then as you can see, that's new, that's from today. And then I saw sidewall just here. So yeah, like I said, just let it go way too long. I think that sidewall's from today because it was running so low. Obviously it picked up a sharp rock or stick or something. Yeah, I pushed them way too far, ended up getting a flat. So I had to put my brand new spare on the back, which is a -12. So I had a -59 this side, -12 that side, but it's all right. It got me back to town, went to the tire shop, got them to fit. Basically, I got a new tire, and then obviously the spare tire got put back on the -59 rim, and we've kept them on the back. So hopefully I didn't confuse you just then. So the two rears right now are brand new. The two fronts are the originals. And that's what I was looking at doing with no rotations, because I know the rears wear out faster. The plan was to just basically put two new ones on the back. By the time they wear out, the fronts should be proper done, roughly. We'll see how that goes. I actually have new tires on the way. What was supposed to happen was I knew the rears were right at the end of their life, and I was going to get a whole new set of 4 of like a different type of tyre just to test. Those tyres are still on their way. Well, I might just keep these and run them out, or I might fit the new tyres, because it's not going to be a waste. If I do put new tyres on, I'll keep these 2 brand new rears because I want to build a trailer, and they'll probably go on the trailer. So they'll definitely get used. Now, these are a Japanese made tyre in a load range E. That's kind of what I always look for. Load range E. They're usually, you know, designed for a higher load range, usually with a stiffer sidewall. So if you're looking for road comfort and all that sort of thing, they're not the best to go for. But if you're looking at the actual function of the tyre and its durability, weight carrying capacity and all that kind of thing, a load range E is a good tyre to go for on like a generally pretty heavy vehicle, I guess you could say, that, you know, spends its life out in harsh terrain. Now, obviously a big question that's always on, well, most people's lips when it comes to tyres is road noise. A big thing for me going from the Toyo mud terrains to these, I really wanted to see the noise comparison, the noise reduction going to these, because I assumed they were going to be quieter, obviously because they're a bit of a hybrid pattern. They're more of an all-terrain pattern. While they're aggressive, they're more of an all-terrain. They're certainly not a mud terrain. Definitely quieter than the Toyos. Noise isn't really a big thing I worry about. Again, I just want them to work. That's really what it comes down to for me with stuff on this car. It just needs to work. So they're nowhere near as noisy as the Toyos, that's for sure. Another thing I should mention, which I don't really mention on tyre reviews, is they seem to be, even though they're not really even getting a proper rotation, they seem to be wearing even. And I mean, I haven't had a wheel alignment on this car for, I couldn't even tell you, like, maybe when I got these tyres I had an alignment, I can't remember. So it's either been 40 for 45,000 Ks now or longer since I've had an alignment. There's no issues there. Everything's cool. I don't really have to touch that too often on this rig. So we'll see how we go. As I said, I'm undecided on what I'm going to do next. These tyres are on their way, these new tyres. They're a whole different brand, a whole different type, a tyre that I've never ran before, but I've heard many good things. So we'll see if I don't know if I'm going to get them fitted up or keep running these rears. Not too sure just yet. Now, I've had a fairly good run with these tyres. I have had a couple of flats. I've had like a screw go through the tread, which is probably going to go through any tyre. And I've had a sharp little stick go through the tread as well, which was an ultra slow leak that I couldn't even find. So I went to the tyre shop, my local Tyre-Rite, and it patched it for me, and I ended up running the tyre no problem. I'm yet to run a tyre that I haven't had a flat, but tyres are not created equal, and anytime I don't run a 3-ply sidewall, I end up destroying the tyres. So with that, these are a 3-ply sidewall and a 10-ply tread. Virtually any tyre I've ran with that setup are pretty strong generally, and that's what I would recommend to use if you're out bush. Make sure it's got some kind of a 3-ply sidewall, at least 10-ply tread. And you'll see that they differentiate between sizes with some brands. Like some random sizes might have like an 8-ply tread or a 6-ply tread or something like that. So definitely something to keep an eye on. So the tyres I was running before these were the Toyo mud terrains in a 285 7516, so pretty much what equates to a 33. I decided to step up to a 315 7516, which is more or less a 35, probably measures out to more of a 34.5 inch. I picked these tyres up for 440. The Toyo mud terrains were, I don't know, 540 or 550, and all the smaller sizes, Mickey Thompson, Yokohama mud terrain, whatever that I've ran on Hiluxes, like 32-inch tyres roughly, were all like 550. So these being 440, you know, such a bigger tyre and cheaper. But if you go to a true 35, like a 35 R17 in the same tyre, you're looking at like $700. So I always try and go for a 315 or something like that. Now, I'm pretty happy with their durability. They've been good. The one thing If I had to pick on one thing about these tyres, it would probably be, it's always hard to say for sure, but I feel like they don't quite hook up as well as the Toyo mud terrains, which probably sounds obvious because the Toyos are a mud terrain, they're a much more aggressive tread pattern. I just noticed mainly on sort of off-camber, high-speed dirt corners, where like sort of loose gravel, loose dirt, that they kind of wanted to walk a bit, wanted to drift a little bit. It's nothing crazy, it's just something I noticed straight away going from the Toyo to these. As far as looks goes, I think they are quite a nice looking tyre, and you get yourself 2 sidewall designs to choose from. You get this what looks like knife blades, if that's what you want to call it, and then on the inside you get another design. So I'm just back in the car. One thing I forgot to actually mention was that the compound of these tyres, they seem to have a really soft compound compared to most, if not all, other tyres that I've used. There's been really no chipping or tearing or anything like that, so take with that what you will. I don't know what the softer compound's about, but I don't think I really noticed anything negative to say about that. It's just something I really noticed when I first got them.